Yo, back with another video. I'm active this Easter. I'm being active because I've got a lot of time in my hands. I had a video out yesterday about the reaction to that song. That was doing well. Thank you for the support on that one because I sent it out to everyone on my snap. So thank you to everyone who put on their story. And today we've got a video that I think a lot of people kind of need because everyone needs to do it right now, but not everyone knows how to. It's about revision, how to revise effectively, like how to get the most out of your revision, because everyone should be revising right now. I don't know if everyone is, and there's loads of different ways to revise, so I'm just going to tell you personally what I do to revise, like what works for me, and maybe you can take some tips. So like, revision, it's not just a task, it's a whole mindset. Like the moment you wake up in the day, you have to think, okay, how long am I going to be revising for today? What am I going to revise? You can't just wake up and be like, yeah, you know what, I'll do a bit of that and a bit of that. Like, personally, what I do, I wake up like just before 7-ish, so like no one's awake in my house, so there's no distractions, and just go downstairs and do 1 hour of anything. But I have like all my books downstairs at the moment, so I literally just pick one of them up, which kind of contradicts what I said earlier, but like I have a plan, so I have like a range of things, and I say, okay, either I'm doing this task or I'm doing this. So like one day I just picked up the physics past paper, did that, maths past paper, did that, English language paper 2, did that. So like know what you're going to do. Don't just sit down and be like, right, English, inspector calls, and then just look in your book for stuff. Like, that's not how to revise. Like, you have to know that if you're gonna revise something, you need to know how you're going to revise it. So I wake up at like 7, do an hour in the morning, then I have breakfast, have a shower. Like, if I'm quick, I can come back for like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock ish. After all of that, after breakfast, shower, and do another 2 hours before lunch. Then have lunch, which is like a 1 hour thing. And then come back, do 2, pushing on 3 hours. Yesterday I did 2, trying to think, no, yesterday I did, yesterday I did 2 after lunch. I was pushing on for 3, but I had housework to do, so I didn't quite get the time. But today I've only done like, what, 47 minutes after lunch because I wasn't feeling it. And that's another thing, if you're not feeling it, don't force yourself to revise. You have to be in the mindset. I mean, if like you're not in the whole mindset for a whole week, then we've got a problem. But preferably, if you're not feeling it, if you just sat there and you're like, right, nothing's going in. Like, this is just me being honest here. I was doing chemistry revision before this on Seneca, which is ridiculously overpowered. Like, I'm not getting paid to promote it, obviously, but Seneca, if you're not using it already, that's your first mistake. But the problem is because it's on my phone, and I don't really associate my phone with work. So once my brain switches off, like, it's off, like off. So I was doing chemistry, but like, you can't force it. And I told myself, yo, none of this is going in. I don't know what on earth is on my phone right now. Let me just stop. Like, let me just stop. Like, if you don't know what's going on, don't bother answering exam questions before you've revised on it, because nothing is just not gonna work. So, how long should you revise for? I've got it written down here on my iPad. I've got notes and that. Like, anything you want to do in life, you have to plan it. Like, all my videos, I plan all my videos. So, how long should you revise for? Well, personally, I do 1 hour and then I take a break 15 minutes. So like, when I'm doing my 1 hour in the morning, that kind of doesn't work out because I just do an hour and I just stop like that session. But when I'm doing the 2 hours, I have 1 hour, then I have a 15-minute break, then I have another hour on. So yeah, like I said before, I do an hour, have 15 minutes break. But in the evening, I tend to stop all revision at 6 PM and then just have the evening like to rest, relax, play Xbox, FaceTime people, just videos, editing videos. The time currently is 4:20, but as I said, I wasn't feeling it. But still, I'm not gonna play Xbox or anything until like 6 still, because I stick to that. So, how to revise? This is the thing that a lot of people need to learn, because I was talking to Amma about this. And like, he's a very productive guy. Like, he does a lot of revision, but his problem, and many people's problem, is struggling to avoid the distraction and temptation of checking your phone every 2 minutes. Personally, what I do, I put a 1 hour timer on my phone, and until that timer finishes, my phone doesn't get touched. Like if someone calls me, cool, I pick up. But other than that, I don't touch my phone for an hour, because then otherwise, the moment you touch your phone, you snap out of that mindset. Like imagine when you're revising, you're hypnotized, and the moment you touch your phone, the hypnosis just falls off. That's practically what it is. I couldn't put it any better. So try to not touch your phone. Put a 1 hour timer on. That's what I do. If you want to do 2 hours straight, which I wouldn't really advise. Like our school say do 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off. But personally, I think that's a bit that's silly, because it's just like you can revise for, if you put your mind to it, you can revise for, like you can focus for more than 20 minutes. Like I can focus for an hour, then I stop. But 20 minutes, 10 minutes off, so like you're taking a break for half the time that you were revising for. That's a bit too much. Like you don't need that. Listen to music is calm. Like if I'm doing maths questions from a textbook, calm. You know I'll be listening to music. I'll even put a video on right now with me listening to music whilst revising.
But it's only IQ and scratch. They came back from Lincoln, yes. When I spit, man, it's real life shit. On my life, when I spit, it's facts. Yo, I'm on the maddest of things. I see the ops and panic and shit. Yo.
Revising doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be a boring task of you just sitting there copying out from a book. You can make it enjoyable. But I would advise, if you're going to do a past paper, or if you're doing sticky notes, to not, like, you can listen to music if you're doing sticky notes, but especially if you're doing a past paper, like listening to music, because the temptation when you're listening to music is, oh, let me dance as well, let me start rapping as well. If you're into like singing songs like Ariana Grande and that, let me start singing as well. And then the moment you do that, like, you're at 80% focus. So if you're doing a past paper at 80% focus, you're already limiting yourself to 80% of the marks in that paper. And then you have to take into account all the sticky questions that come up. So you're just limiting your own chances. So if you're doing a past paper, I'd advise that you don't listen to music. Like personally, I don't. Like, I'll have music on for like question 1, and then I'll clock that it's just not gonna work, so I turn off the music. But if you're doing maths questions, like stuff like that, like science questions from a textbook, calm. Like calm. If you're flowing, if you know exactly what you're doing, then calm. If you need to get your head down and focus, I wouldn't advise you listen to music. Go to an area you can actually work in. Personally, I go downstairs and we have a dining table kind of thing downstairs. I just sit there, and I only sit there for work. So like, find a place that you associate with work. Don't try to revise on your bed. That's just not gonna work. You'll just end up on your phone. Like, let's be real. If you associate your bed with like comfort, relaxation, so the moment you try to bring work into that, it's just not gonna work. Like, it's like trying to fit a horse for a cat flap. It's not gonna work. The horse doesn't know how to do it. It can't see it happening. Like, I can't see myself revising properly if I'm just gonna be sat on my bed because it's too comfy. So, but make sure wherever you revise, there's a big enough space to actually put like your workbook, like your textbook, on the table so you can actually revise. Because if you're like struggling for space as well, then that's half your focus gone already. Because you're like, oh, does it even fit? And like when you try to write on the edge of the page, and then like your pen starts like coming off the table, nah. What to use when you're revising? This is another like question I get asked a lot. Personally, I've said it already in this video. I use Seneca. I mean, for me it's effective, but for some people it might not be. Like, if you prefer to like make your own notes, I wouldn't advise it, because Seneca assumes that you already know it, so it's just quizzing you on things, and it does tell you some things, but most of the things it assumes that you have that knowledge and are you only on that app to do questions and that. So if you prefer to just like make notes, like write out quotes and that from English, or like write equations, then I'd advise you don't use Seneca. But if you're confident in a subject and you just want that clarification, that confirmation that it's a strong subject for you, then Seneca's the thing for you to use. For English, what I do, I copy out and learn quotes, and my English teacher tells us, I don't know if yours does, but if it's a smart quote, so like a quote that you can say something about. So like, for example, this is just off the top of my head, probably, in my opinion, the best quote in the whole book, Christmas Carol, when Scrooge says, if they'd rather die, then they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population. Now with that quote, you break it down, he's like, I know, and then at the end of it, after that, he says, and besides, excuse me, I don't know that. So the whole thing about Christmas Carol is like willful ignorance. And by him saying, besides, I don't know that, he's like just telling you, oh, I don't know it. I've never seen it, so I can't say that I know it. But he knows it's going on. Quotes like that, a smart quote, something you can comment on, put down a sticky note. That's how I revise my English. Maths, what I do, like I've said already, just do past papers. No music for them though. Like I don't listen to music, otherwise I can't focus. But I do work from textbooks. So for that I do listen to music because I know what I'm doing. Like once you've done like 5 questions and like you know the technique required to answer it, calm. But if you're learning something new, listening to music is just not gonna work. Science, again, use Seneca. I've done 1 physics past paper and do exam questions for them from the textbooks, and they're on Caboodle. If you don't have them like physically, they're on Caboodle. And for history, I just do sticky notes of dates. I already showed you them in a video before. So my whole wall there is covered, and now here I've got sticky notes of physics equations because they're sticky as well. Not the notes, but the equations as well. We have to learn 15. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. Only other thing to add, days off, like taking days off revision. Personally, the risk you run is that you lose your rhythm. So like say I've been working 3 days straight of hardcore revision, and I'm like, you know what, I've earned a day off. And then you take that day off, and then the next day you wake up at like 9 o'clock because you woke up on that day off at 9 o'clock. Bam, there goes your rhythm, there goes your 1 hour in the morning that you should have revised for, but you didn't because your body has like told itself, now you know what, I can chill, what's the rush? So yeah, that's the only risk you run. But personally, if you're not feeling the revision, don't revise at that time, not that day. Like I would advise you revise at least 2 hours. If you're not doing at least 2 hours a day, give up. It's that simple, give up. Because we've got Easter half term now, and then after that we've got like what, 2-3 weeks till stand down. If you're not doing at minimum 2 hours a day, you're just the only person that's gonna lose out is yourself. Like teachers have been telling us it for a while, parents have been saying it for a while, but now it's kicked in that yo, this is my future I'm talking about. This is my future I'm messing around with by not doing an adequate amount of revision. So that's literally all I have to say though. But there is a surprise. I'm making a song about revision. I'm making a song. When it will be released, me not know, but what me do know is that it will be out soon. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this has helped. Because personally, if I was in like year 10, year 11, I am in year 11, but like say it was start of year 11, and I saw a video like this, like teaching you different methods, techniques about revision, not from someone who's already finished their exams, but from someone who's currently about to sit them, so is in the same position as myself, like it would help so much. So I hope this has helped a lot, because a lot of people do ask me, oh, how do you revise? Because they see me in the library a lot. Like I'm always in the library. If you have me on Snap, I'm always in that library. That's where I saw Digger D across the road. Had to mention that in the video. And if you didn't already know, Digger D, the best drill rapper at this current moment in time. Don't know what he was doing across the road from the library I go to, but he was there. I got a picture of him. I'll put it on the screen now. But yeah, other than that, thank you for watching this video. I hope this has helped. Leave a like if it has. Comment below what you use to revise, how you revise, how long you revise for in a day. And I'll be back again soon.
1 hour, what 15 minutes break, that is called the schedule. Why you man doing 8 hours in a day? That's dreadful. Sticky notes all over my wall as my revision. That's helpful. Past papers can also be useful, but make sure you're actually focused.